Guys, it's Brandon here, and we are right outside of the Grand Atlantic Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as you can see back behind me. Now, in today's video, we're going to cover your gross rental income for operating a short-term vacation rental property, a Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo, a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom right here at the Grand Atlantic. We're going to lay out all of your expenses. We're going to talk about your profit and loss. We're going to jump into variance and what other units here on site made in the last 2 years, as well as appreciation. How many of these larger units have appreciated over $30,000 a year in the last 10 years, over the last decade? Yes, we're talking over $300,000 in appreciation for these larger 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom units. Now, we're going to dive into lots of topics that you're going to be interested in, like cash out refis, that strategy to buy more oceanfront condos and more investment properties, 1031 like-kind exchanges. We're also going to dive into on-site versus off-site property management and remodeling your unit. I mean, it's all the stuff that you need to know as a first-time investor. I don't want you to miss it. I don't want your first investment to backfire on you, because it can really set you back. If you purchase a small oceanfront condo at a low-tier resort, it might not do as well. You're actually positioning yourself with a lot more risk, and I don't want that for you. I want you to buy a larger oceanfront condo that appreciates well, so it carries you through those lean years, and also it makes the most upside, gives you the most profit every single year, so that you can quickly buy 1, 2, 3, 4, and like Matt Freese, who's been on our show, eventually own 11, or Rufia Nigro, who owns 27 oceanfront condos. She built that up in only 7 years, over $10 million worth of real estate. So guys, I want you to tune in and watch this video to the end, because I have chocked it full of valuable information that you need to be aware of when making a first-time or even a seasoned investor making an investment in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. Well, I don't want to hold us up. Let's get into the video. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. All right, guys, come on. We're on site right here in Myrtle Beach, standing right outside the Grand Atlantic Resort, which is a phenomenal resort in the south end of the beach. Now, right down the road, right next to us here, we do have the Blue Water Resort, you can see right here. And then on the other side, we've got Grand Beach Resort literally right next door. We do have the Paradise, which is a little bit further up the road. I like the Paradise a lot. It's that bluish one you can see there. And then even further down the road, that's the Compass Cove. I think the Compass Cove is a hidden jewel in our market, guys. They've got 1-bedrooms there that tend to make $12,000 to $14,000 profit a year, and they only cost about $170,000. Anyways, let's save that for another day. Now, Grand Atlantic Ocean Resort. Let's get in and check out the front lobby. Then we'll check out some of the on-site amenities. That is your front lobby, guys. Let's get in unit 907 right here at the Grand Atlantic. Now, there is a lockout on this side. We're going to get in there in just a minute, guys. First, I want to take you down this hall. You will see an owner's closet here. Can't get in there. Beautiful flooring, as you can see. Absolutely gorgeous flooring. We have 2 bedrooms, one to the right and one to the left. Check this out, guys. Those double beds, as you can see here. Cool view, as you can see. Flat screen, closet in the corner. They got cleaning supplies and stuff in this closet. The next bedroom here, again, double beds, flat screen. As you can see, pretty cool closet in the left corner. It's kind of Jack and Jill-ish in that the bathroom connects to the kitchen, as you can see there. This is the community bathroom. Tub shower combo. Pretty colors. Very pretty colors. All right, guys. Stackable washer and dryer is a must, especially if you plan on having those winter rental tenants that are long-term. You do have a dishwasher, as you can see here. It's a very open space, as you can see. A refrigerator, stove, microwave, dining room, as you can see here. Very well done. And it effortlessly flows into the living room. There is the master bedroom here, which we're going to get into in just a minute. But as you can see here, there's a gorgeous living room. And then you've got your moneymaker, that balcony, that oceanfront balcony. As you can see right here, sand and ocean right in front of you. That's what they're looking for, guys. There's some of your on-site amenities. Now this balcony does extend all the way to the master, which we're going to get into in just a minute. This unit is beautiful. Look at this master, guys. As you can see, nice king-size bed, flat screen TV. Again, you've got that balcony that connects. That's what people want. They want to lay in this bed right here and hear those ocean waves going. You do have a closet, as you can see here. And then the master bathroom, tub shower combo. Now, let's get to that lockout unit. Perfect for couples, guys. Couples, families. You know, you got a lot of people. You got a whole nother unit, a whole other unit right over here that you can use. You have a nice little seating area here. 2 beds and a whole other balcony, which is super cool. As you can see, street view and ocean view. Nice little pathway through there. And then finally, you've got the bathroom. Let me see if I can get the light on in here. There we go. As you can see, tub shower combo, tile flooring, and a closet. Pretty stunning, guys. Well, that wraps it up. In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Before we get into the amenities, guys, I want to show you right outside, we've got Scooby's Ice Cream and Grill, a really cool little setup here. And then on the other side here, there's a gift shop, which is super cool. Of course, if you've forgotten anything, they've got a convenience store right there at the ice cream parlor and the gift shop, excuse me. As you can see here, this is going to be the mini mart and gifts. So they've got you covered right here at the Grand Atlantic. All right, so while we're walking to the on-site amenities, I want you to know some things about Grand Atlantic. Number one, they have 1 bedrooms, 2 2s, 3 3s, and 4 3s. This place is stacked with pretty much every size unit except for inefficiency. Additionally, as far as sales prices recently, we've got a low of $360,000, an average price of $458,000, $485,000, and a high of $529,900. Elevators here to the right. We've got beach access to the right, the game room to the right, and our pools to the left. There's restrooms right here to my right, as you can see. Shower there. We've got our beach access. It looks like they've got a little bit of construction going on here, as you can see there. Normally you just go right down those stairs. All right, look at that indoor pool. Now on straight up ahead, you are going to see a lazy river, which is super cool. Not bad, not bad, not bad. You also see right over here in the corner, they do have a hot tub, which is pretty cool. And you can obviously see they're doing some construction work here, and they're doing some construction work outside on the major outdoor pools. So I'll let you see some of that. But there is your beach access literally directly across from the pool, as you can see there. Now you're going to see this way is going to be to the game room and the beach access. You can see the game room here. Very cool game room. We've got our beach access right this way. Obviously they're doing lots of construction work, so they moved the shower out here. There's where the pools are supposed to be. As you can see, lots of construction going on. This is our next door place. And here's our beach access. The Grand Atlantic. Now, on-site versus off-site property management. Very simply, guys, you always want to self-manage. You do not want to hand your profits over to a property management company. Plus, if you're serious about building a robust portfolio, well, guys, guess what? You taking the helm and doing this the first year or two is going to provide you with the experience that you need in order to better understand your investment and your money. So that way, when you do hand it off to a property manager, you'll know what to look for if they're doing a good job or not. Additionally, No one's going to manage your property like you are. And I will tell you, if you're thinking to yourself that you don't have time because you have a full-time job and you can't handle anything else, then you're wrong. You need to get focused. You need to get self-disciplined. You need to get serious with yourself about your future and your retirement. Now, here's the deal. Matt Freeze owned 11 oceanfront condos, and he owns a mortgage brokerage. He's got a full-time day job and manages his oceanfront condos from his phone and his laptop. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos, 2 commercial properties, and a long-term rental. Manages them. She leverages technology. She also owns a property management company and has 110 doors that she's responsible for. The point is that, very simply, lots of people are managing this type of rental right from their phone. They're syncing their calendar with their cleaning lady's calendar. And, she's going and cleaning that unit. They're handling guests through automated text messages and emails right there on the platform. It is not rocket science. You can completely run this from your phone and your laptop. And you can be out of state. Matt Freeze is out of state. There are plenty of out-of-state investors that buy these condos and manage them all the time. Do I run into a lot of husband-wife couples that do this? Absolutely. If that's you, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Now, your HOA fee is going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, security, rec facilities, legal and accounting, primary antenna cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, telephone service in the unit, internet access, and pest control. And I do want to point out, guys, lots of people are concerned about HOA fees and how high they are. I can tell you that these resorts are getting these services in a bulk package, which is much cheaper than what you'd be able to get them for individually if you were paying, writing a separate check for each of these services. They're able to go to the utility company and say, hey, I've got 400 units. How much will you, and they're able to use that purchasing power to bring the cost of all those utilities and services down. So it really works in your favor when it comes to your HOA fee. So what attractions are located nearby that are going to be a potential draw, a great draw for the tourist wanting to rent right here at the Grand Atlantic? Well, I'm glad you asked, guys. First on my list is Barefoot Landing. Now this one's over in North Myrtle Beach. It is 28 minutes away. You do not want to miss it. We're talking about shops and restaurants and a marina where you drive your boat up and you can eat on the water, and there's tons of things, a carousel, and the Christmas mouse. My wife likes the store where you go Christmas shopping all year long. Anyways, the point is that I took my kids out there this past Easter with our in-laws. We ate at the Crooked Hammock. There was ping pong tables set up and life-size checkers and a train ride for the kids. I mean, there is something for friends and family alike over at Barefoot Landing. You do not want to miss it. Now, next is Broadway at the Beach. It is a 350-acre tourist attraction right here in our market. It has every kind of restaurant and shop and fireworks shows and, Wahlburgers and Dave & Buster's and the Hangout. They opened a whole new section to this place. It's really, really great. They got a little, putt-putt golf kind of place over there. There's boat rides and Wonderworks, which is like an upside-down house that the kids go crazy over all those activities. There is so much to do at Broadway at the Beach. You don't want to miss it. Now, Pirates Voyage, moving right along. It's an excellent dinner show right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The Pirates, there's competing teams. They're serving you food. They're doing acrobatics. They're jumping off of walls. They're doing a fire show. They're jumping into the water. They're getting the crowd involved. You really don't want to miss it. It's an excellent attraction that your guests are going to love. Medieval Times, same kind of thing, a dinner show. You got knights fighting. They got horses. They're competing. They're serving you food. The family loves it. It's phenomenal. 13 minutes away. Pirates Voyage, that was 21 minutes away. Skywheel and the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk is only a whopping 10 minutes away. You do not want to miss it. Arcades, restaurants, fun, a great place to walk. Tanger Outlet, 16 minutes up the road, guys. If you want to shop, that's where you want to be. Market Common. Now, you don't want to miss Market Common. It is only 6 minutes away, super close. It is a city within a city. There is shopping and boutique shopping and Ko-Sushi and restaurants and Southern Living and White House Black Market and all the stores that my wife likes to shop at. Let me tell you, it's right there at Market Common. It is fun for friends and family alike. And there is a $1.3 million playground across the street called Savannah's Playground. If you got little ones, you don't want to miss it. Now, MYR, the Myrtle Beach International Airport, 7 minutes up the road. Now, let's get into golf. Guys, golf. There's over 90 golf courses in the Myrtle Beach market. It is a golf enthusiast haven. Perhaps the nicest, in my opinion, is going to be Dunes Golf and Beach Club at 22 minutes away. It is on the shore. It is phenomenal and stunning. Beautiful greens, beautiful holes. It is luxury at its finest in the Myrtle Beach market. Then you got Myrtlewood Golf Club, only 20 minutes up the road. You also have World Tour Golf Links. Guys, World Tour has holes featured from some of the best holes, best courses around the world. You don't want to miss World Tour Golf Links. And then finally, guys, you got Top Golf. Everybody likes a good driving range and a lot of fun for friends and family alike. They've got individual lanes set up. They've got outdoor patios. You can order food. You don't want to miss it. Top Golf is only minutes away, right up the road. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's cover appreciation for 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom units right there at the Grand Atlantic. Now, in 2014, if you would have purchased a unit, your average unit would have had a sold price of $310,000. You fast forward to 2024, we're talking $503,100. Come on now, that's $193,100 in appreciation. Guys, 19 grand a year. The average sold price in the last 2 years was $503,100. We're talking about $19,000 a year. Where can you go and find an investment that's going to generate annual profits like oceanfront condos and then appreciate to the tune of 19 grand a year? Come on. It sounds like a savvy investment to me. Now, let's talk through the AirDNA report on the Grand Atlantic for 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. This is a very significant piece of information regarding your investment. They project it at $98,000 gross rental income. I believe that is a lot more realistic as to what you can make at the Grand Atlantic. Now, with a projected annual revenue of $98,100, a 64% occupancy rate, and a high average daily rate of $419, the property is positioned as a high-performing vacation rental. It also boasts a high confidence score, meaning the data is considered reliable based on strong comparable listings. After accounting for $33,700 in operating expenses, the estimated net operating income, the NOI, is an impressive $64,400, signaling a strong cash flow opportunity for investors considering larger units in the south end of Myrtle Beach. Now, I want to point out 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom units can easily make $140,000 a year. With the right management, with somebody marketing that property well, that knows what they're doing, providing a superb guest experience with an updated, plenty of upgrades, a remodeled, a well-done, well-designed unit. Yes, you could be making $130,000, $140,000 a year with a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom unit all day long. I don't believe that the numbers I've presented in this video are the concrete numbers for this kind of investment. I do believe that the Grand Atlantic is a very attractive investment, even though it's in the south end of the beach. Now, I come across investors that don't want to invest in the south end of the beach. I think the Grand Atlantic is a sure win. Now, let's address not investing in the south end of the beach. For all of the investors out there that want to stay in the north, while some investors often shy away from South End oceanfront condos due to perceptions of higher crime, the South End actually offers purchase prices up to 30% below national averages, translating into stronger cap rates and value add potential for savvy investors. Come on, guys. And that's per HostAway. Check out the HostAway website. They're an excellent software you can use for managing or for self-managing your unit. Now, and targeted municipal investments in police staffing and technology have driven a 22% drop in violent crime and a 29% decline in property crime citywide from 2017 to 2021. Now, guys, get ready because I'm about to paint a really good argument here. With a major redevelopment initiatives like the upcoming Oceanfront redevelopment project focused on the Arts and Innovation District, set to inject new amenities and foot traffic into the South End, these condos also benefit from resilient year-round rental demand, averaging 226 booked nights per year at a 62% occupancy rate, ensuring steady cash flow even during the off-peak seasons. Guys, they're doing redevelopment projects right here downtown. So we are expecting and anticipating a great foot traffic. Now think about this, or an increased foot traffic. Think through this with me. You can buy these properties 30% lower than national averages. So you got a really good, you can buy the property right. You know, in real estate, they say that you make your money when you buy. So you can buy them cheaper, and they're adding in all kinds of amenities and revitalizing the downtown area to drive in traffic. Guys, it sounds like a winning combination for an investor that knows what they're doing. Now let's talk through the variance right here at the Grand Atlanta. From some of the units I pulled, we got unit 912 in 2022 made $77,656.03. Unit 1101 in 2023 made $76,731.25 for an average gross rental income of $77,194 and a variance of only $925. I pulled several units here that there was another one I pulled that was $75,000. So you can see there's a lot of consistency in the gross rental income numbers. 75, 76, 77. The point is, with that close grouping, guys, it seems like that several of the units here are consistently performing, which means it's not one of those resorts where it's a hit or miss, where one unit outperforms all the rest. Now, it could signal and indicate that there's potential here for somebody to come in with a superb remodel and dust the competition off, because they do have great amenities, and this is an excellent setup here for oceanfront condo tourists. You know, they've got consistent and close grouping in that gross rental income, which tells me that the resort as a whole is doing well and has a brand well enough to attract enough demand that the rents start to equalize over several of the larger units here. So all that being said, I think that the Grand Atlantic is positioned for the right investor to come in, do a savvy remodel on an oceanfront condo, offer a superb and superior guest experience with concierge services, and make well over $100,000 a year on a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom all day long. I once had a client that was featured in Forbes magazine who taught me the secret of concierge services. It's an excellent way to increase the gross rental income on your oceanfront condo property. Essentially, you want to set up some packages through a direct booking website. A small, a medium, and a large package, 500, 1,000, 1,500. For the convenience of you getting dinner for two, and tickets to Pirates Voyage, and tickets to Medieval Times, and tickets to the Country Music Festival, and a gift for him, and a gift for her, and rose petals on the bed, and whatever other things you want to offer in your vacation package, the guest will pay you a really nice convenience fee. All you do is you coordinate with the cleaning lady. You have her buy the stuff. The person goes on your website. They book the package. They pay you the money. You contact your cleaning lady. You put the order through. You give her $50, $100. Have her go order all the stuff for you and leave it in the room in an envelope. It's that simple and that easy, guys. And now you've given a superb guest experience through some concierge services to your guest. You're bound to get repeat year-over-year business when you offer that kind of services. And what did you do? You boosted the gross rental income of the property. If you've got 10 people that sign up for a $1,500 vacation package, you've just made an extra $15,000. Now, many investors are curious about using the cash out refinance strategy, so I just want to take a moment to address it here. The real estate strategy of using a cash out refinance involves pulling equity from your first investment property after it has appreciated in value, or you've paid down the mortgage, or a combination of both of them, and using those funds as a down payment for your next property. I think it's a brilliant strategy. Matt Freeze did it. He purchased 11 oceanfront condos like that. It works very, very well. Here's how it works, guys. You buy your first property, you improve it or hold it over time, and once it gains enough equity, you refinance it for more than you currently owe. You take the difference in cash, tax deferred, and use it to buy your second property. Repeat the process, which is improve, refinance, reinvest, and you create a snowball effect of portfolio growth without needing to come up with new capital for each new deal, which is brilliant. This method lets investors scale rapidly, but it requires good credit, strategic property selection, that's why you got me, strong cash flow, and discipline to avoid over leveraging. It's that simple and that easy, guys. Many of the investors, I would imagine, at least Matt Freese for sure, but many investors employ this strategy. It is brilliant. Matt Freese owned 11 oceanfront condos. He since then sold 2 of them. He has 9, I believe, now. The point is that he did it through cash out refinancing. It's very simple, guys. Even if you only start with a small 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom oceanfront condo, you own it for a year or two, it appreciates a little bit. You take all those profits you're making from it, pay down that mortgage, and you simply pull that cash out of the property for the down payment on your next investment. It's that simple and that easy. And guys use this all the time. Another, couple I helped recently, they pulled $168,000 out of their primary residence to buy an oceanfront condo. They've got money sitting in their house, but it's not making them money. The bank is using that money to make money. You need to grab that money and use it to make money for yourself. It's that simple and that easy. They pulled $168,000 out of their primary home. They paid down on I want to say I think it's a 3-bedroom oceanfront condo over at Dunes Village. And the point is, their mortgage went up $1,100 a month, but they're in a property that's generating between $20,000 and $30,000 in profit a year. Not to mention that $30,000 worth of appreciation a year that many of our larger oceanfront condos tend to make. So it's a really smart use of the money that was sitting right in their home. That simple and that easy. If you're interested in doing a cash out refi, I've got a lender that can handle that for you. It's 843-360-1737. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, purchasing a second home versus purchasing it as an investment property. A lot of people have this kind of question. As a second home purchase, you are going to have a lower interest rate and a lower down payment, substantially lower. However, you can only rent the property out 180 days out of the year, and you have to occupy the property at least 21 days out the year. Additionally, your primary residence has to be more than 75 miles from the second home. Now, if you purchase it as an investment property, you're going to have a down payment anywhere between 15 and 25%. What's typical that I see is 25% down. Now, you are going to have a higher interest rate. The bank knows you're buying this property to make money, so they're going to want to they want to cut of the deal. It's that simple, that easy. The bank's putting up 75% of the cash. They're your partner on this deal. So, all that being said, you can rent it out 365 days a year. It really gives you a large upside to making the most and maximizing that gross rental income if you simply buy the property as an investment property. Let's talk about the dreaded HOA. Many investors are so weary of HOAs. They're all freaked out about HOAs. They hear HOA horror stories. Guys, when it comes to the investing world, HOAs protect your property's appreciation. They impose accountability and a standard for all of the investors there and all the people that own and live there so that the properties appreciate well. They are protecting your investment. They're protecting the long game on your investment, that appreciation. Now, additionally, a lot of investors are all freaked out about high HOA fees. Guys, the best resorts have the highest HOA fees. It's that simple and that easy. If you want the ability to make $30,000 to $45,000 in profit on an oceanfront condo, you're most likely going to end up at a resort with really high HOA fees. The HOA board consists of people that own at that particular resort. It's that simple and that easy. They don't want to pay those fees any more than you want to pay those fees. At the same token, they're savvy and smart enough to know that if they don't invest in the maintenance of that property and its upkeep, as well as other value-added decisions like putting in a water park or the like, then guess what? tourists are going to stop renting those properties. And if the property gets run down, it's going to lose value instead of gaining value. And if it loses value, you've just lost a major part of your investment appreciation. So the HOA protects your investment. They protect you. When you go to sell that property 5 to 7 years from now, after you've ridden that wave of appreciation up, you're going to want an HOA there, keeping everybody, holding everybody to a high standard, making sure that that place is ran smooth and well and has been upkeep well. That's what you're going to want, guys. So HOA is technically your friend. 401k non-recourse loans. Now, I've got a client right now I'm working with who just tapped into his 401k to purchase an oceanfront condo over at Dunes Village Resort. Now, a non-recourse loan against a 401k is used when purchasing real estate within the 401k itself, typically through a self-directed solo 401k plan. In this setup, the 401k account, not the individual person, purchases the property, and a non-recourse loan is used because IRS rules prohibit personal guarantees on 401k owned investments. A non-recourse loan means the lender can only seize the property if there is a default. They cannot go after the investor's personal assets or the rest of the 401k funds, which is a huge perk, guys. This allows investors to leverage their retirement funds to buy real estate while keeping the investment compliant with the IRS rules. However, only the 401k benefits from the investment returns. You can't touch that money. And strict rules around prohibit transactions. And strict rules prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. And strict rules around prohibited transactions must be followed to avoid penalties. Now, very simply put, I've got a client who had $400-something thousand in his 401k. What did he do? He started investing the money in oceanfront condos because it was not enough money for him to retire off of. Many investors think that a 401k is a retirement account. And I know it's been marketed to you as a retirement account. When they were originally set up, 401ks were set up for high-earning executives that needed an extra account to stash extra cash away. It was not meant to be a retirement fund. Many Americans are recognizing that they're not going to have enough to support their lifestyle because they are living longer and they've not been able to save enough through a 401k. And they're getting savvy and smart and they're going, how can I use this money to build passive income assets? Purchase real estate, oceanfront condos. Where can I get the biggest bang for my buck? Short-term vacation rental properties. Right here, Myrtle Beach oceanfront. So get in contact with me if you're interested in getting set up with a 401k non-recourse loan. My phone number is 843-360-1737. I'd be glad to help you. 1031 like-kind exchanges. Very, very hot topic nowadays. People are always interested in how can I build a nest egg without paying all those capital gains? Well, a 1031 like-kind exchange is the answer to that question. A 1031 exchange, named after Section 1031 of the IRS Code, allows real estate investors to defer paying capital gains taxes when they sell an investment property, as long as they reinvest the proceeds into a like-kind property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. The key rules include identifying the replacement property within 45 days and closing on it within 180 days of the sale. This strategy helps investors grow their portfolios more efficiently by deferring taxes and leveraging their equity. But it requires careful planning and the use of a qualified intermediary to handle the transaction. Now, guys, I have a qualified intermediary that I can introduce you to that can do your 1031 like-kind exchange transaction. If you're interested in avoiding capital gains tax as you're building up a nest egg, then get in contact with me because a 1031 like-kind exchange is what you want to do. My phone number is 843-360-1737. Call me. So let's talk through remodeling your unit, guys. Many savvy investors in Myrtle Beach follow a proven strategy. They buy dated oceanfront condos below market value, invest in remodeling them, and then rent them out on platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com. Now, the initial renovation not only boosts the unit's appeal and nightly rate, but also significantly increases its gross rental income, making it stand out from other less updated units in the same resort. These remodeled units are typically held for 5 to 7 years, during which they appreciate in value while generating strong cash flow. Now, when it's time to sell, the updated units often command a premium price thanks to their rental performance history and upgraded finishes. In most cases, the renovation costs are fully recouped and then some within the first year or two, making the upfront investment a no-brainer for maximizing both short-term income and the long-term equity. You have to remodel your unit. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Yvonne, she invested with me last year. She bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo over at the Ocean Reef Resort. When she bought the condo, it was making $104,000 in gross rental income a year. She remodeled it. She took it off the market for 2 months, remodeled it. The first 12 months of owning the condo, she made $140,000. She increased the gross rental income by $36,000 after investing in a $50,000 remodel, and that's just her first year. So you can see in 3 or 4 more years, 5 more years, she's already making tons of profit off of her remodel. It was well worth it. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so I'm excited to get into a cash scenario purchase for the Grand Atlantic 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Now, I want to tell you real quick, guys, that before you run off looking at these numbers, keep in mind that Rufia says the Grand Atlantic is the most profitable units and the most profitable Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo investment that she's made. All right, guys, your average sold price in the previous 2 years was $503,100. Your average gross rental income was $77,194. Your Airbnb platform fee was $2,315.81. If you subtract that $2,315.81 from the $77,194, you do arrive at a subtotal of $74,877.83. Your taxes for 2023 were $4,622.55. Your cleaning costs, we have you at $9,000. That is at 30 cleanings for $300 per cleaning. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It's a large unit. Your excise tax was $595. That's for your City of Myrtle Beach business license. Your local hospitality and accommodations tax is $2,315.81. That is 1.5% to the City of Myrtle Beach of your gross rental income, and then 1.5% to Horry County of your gross rental income. Finally, your annualized HOA dues were $23,928. Bringing you to a subtotal of $40,461.36. If you subtract that subtotal from the above subtotal of $74,877.83, you arrive at a projected profitability of $34,416.47. Now, guys, that is a total cash-on-cash return of 7% for your money. And again, if you did make just $5,000 more in gross rental income, you'd be right there at $39,416.47. Now, let's run through a financing scenario purchase right here at the Grand Atlantic for a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. That average sold price in the previous 3 years was $503,100. Your down payment on that of 20% was $100,620. Your average gross rental income was $77,194. And then your Airbnb platform fee was $2,315.81. If you subtract that $2,315.81 from the $77,194 in gross rental income, it does bring you to a subtotal of as much as $74,877.83. Now, your principal and interest for using financing was $36,276. That assumes an 8.25% interest rate over 30 years. Your taxes for 2023, $4,622.55. Cleaning services, $300 per cleaning at 30 cleanings. It could be less, it could be more. That's $9,000 total for the year. Your excise tax for that City of Myrtle Beach business license was $595. Your local hospitality and accommodations tax was $2,315.81. That's 1.5% to the City of Myrtle Beach of your gross rental income, and then an additional 1.5% of your gross rental income to Horry County. And then your annualized HOA dues are $23,928. Now that brings you to a subtotal of $76,737.36. Obviously, that $76,737.36 in operational expenses is higher than your above subtotal of $74,877.83, bringing you to a projected loss of $1,859.53. Guys, keep in mind that Rufia says that the Grand Atlantic is the most profitable Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo investment that she's made. I know that these numbers don't suggest that, but we have contradictory evidence from someone who owns over $10 million worth of Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. I would imagine that she knows what she's talking about. So just because some investors weren't successful there, and just because the average gross rental income that I pulled there didn't show that it is profitable, I would trust Rufia over these numbers. Now, guys, if you just made $5,000 more, you would be profitable $3,140.47, or $10,000 more, that is $8,140.47. All right, now let's work through depreciation. That is at a $503,100 purchase price over 39 years. You do have an income deduction, a taxable income deduction of $12,900. You could, for all you high income earners, take off a lot more than that in a given year, up to $30,000 by doing a cost segregation study. Get with a CPA that specializes in them and see if you can do them on your short-term vacation rental properties. You very much can, and see if it applies, and it is a smart advanced tax strategy for you. Now, the top oceanfront condos in our market, hands down, Dunes Village Resort, Oceans 1, Ocean Reef, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom there, made 140 grand. Come on. Caribbean is another great one. Excellent value there. Let's see. And then number 5, I would say Bayview. Hands down, Bayview. Bayview's got these excellent lockout units that they'll tend to bring in $100,000 a year in gross rental income. And that's not even fixed up ones. I mean, I can only imagine if you remodeled it. So absolutely top 5, hands down, Dunes Village, Ocean Reef, Caribbean, Bayview. I would say Sand Dunes is up there as well. Sand Dunes Resort, Matt Freeze owns several oceanfront condos over there, and he makes really great money. They're Ocean View condos, and he makes great money out there. There's great on-site amenities. You want to have those great on-site amenities. Now, in my opinion, Dunes Village is the best because it has a water park on site. You can rent that unit out 12 months out of the year. That is a massive draw. Those units are, constantly bringing in $75,000, $85,000 easy. I found a unit out there, brought in 103. You definitely want to stay in the 3 and the 4-bedroom units in that side of the market. It's a less risk, much more upside. It's a better use of leverage. It's the smarter move and a smarter play, hands down. I could put you at a low-tier resort, with a cheaper oceanfront condo, but it doesn't have any brand to really carry you. It doesn't have a strong reputation. And in your first few years owning and operating an oceanfront condo, you really need the resort's brand to help carry you through those first few years of you learning the business. So in my opinion, it's a lot less risk to go with a 3 or 4-bedroom for a lot of reasons. Another great one is there's more supply of the smaller condos than the larger condos. There's a lot less 3 and 4 and 5 bedrooms on the market as compared to efficiencies 1s and 2 bedrooms. So it's just a lot less competition for you to compete against on Airbnb and VRBO. Now, guys, get in contact with me. I get calls, emails, and text messages all the time from investors just like you. I'm excited. I got another investor coming in Monday. I can't wait to work with him. Called me. He texted me right off of YouTube. It's always fun getting your text messages. I enjoy it. I like working with you guys. It's a lot of fun. 843-360-1737. I don't care where you are in the buying process. 1 month, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. Let's have a conversation. Let's get some of your hurdles crossed so that you can become an oceanfront condo investor right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.